Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I am your host, Darth Ginger, where we talk about anything and everything kink-based. This is the Ugly Couch, and we are welcomed by a new guest, the one and only JulieJuggz. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm doing okay. I mean, we were just talking about how I think it's cold outside, but it's not, and I should really just shut my mouth about that. So, um, it's 46 degrees in Arizona. All right, we're cold here.
Yeah, that's our high today. We'll bitch about anything around here, though.
Yeah, true. So
Yeah.
you've been in the lifestyle for, you said, about 12 years?
Yeah.
What is like one thing that like really got you like started into it? Like, is there like a story behind that, or just kind of like happened?
When you get a divorce,
There we
you're
go.
oh, I wonder what else is out there. And holy crap, like, yeah, I, I, there was a lot out there, and I will never turn around. I'll never turn back. Like, when I divorced at that point, I was 36. I had never even held a toy. Like, not, I would go to those fun parties, and the people would have to get up, go across me, and hand it to the next person because I wouldn't touch it.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I just started discovering stuff, and I feel like the more people I meet, maybe, I feel like I have pieces of different lifestyles. I'm not just all one thing.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that anyone is just all one thing, because on FetLife, I do claim myself as a princess, but I am such a brat and sub. It's not even funny.
Right. And it would depend on who, if I was going to be a brat to you. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it definitely can change with whoever you're playing with or being with or whatever the scenario is.
Right.
And that's why I always tell people that, if you don't know what you are kind of into, please sponsor me. We've been begging you for like weeks now. The BDSMtest.org.
I've never done that.
Really? You should.
I've never done that. I see it on people's pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So putting that on your profile on FetLife.com really kind of gives like everyone just like a quick rundown of what you are. And for me, I take it every 6 months, and my results change all the time. So because I thought for the life of me that I was a dominant person. Super not. I keep saying it. I know it's probably boring everyone, but I thought I was dominant as heck. No. So
not so much.
No, I mean, I have some dom tendencies, but really, I just want to be told what to do and just have a good time. Okay, everyone, it's fine.
Yes, absolutely, right here. When people like really try and go, because like even on my profile it says like not looking for a dom, just not, and then people like roll in and you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to blah blah blah, I'm going to gag you, I'm going to hit you, no, did you not read? Like, and there's a lot of people who have confirmed that they read and still go that route, and I'm like, like, I think there's a huge difference between being a sub and being submissive.
Yeah, they're two very different things. Yes, yeah.
Because people will be like, well, you said you're a sub. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Two very different things. I could be submissive, but that doesn't mean I'm going to listen to everything that you tell me to do,
Correct.
Because your big kink that I love talking about, because I want to hear about this for hours, and I know everyone else does. You have a thing for worshiping of your beautiful breasts.
Yes, absolutely. Like, hands down, that's like my kryptonite.
That's beautiful.
It just is. And I think that's another reason why I've discovered a lot of stuff, because you go at them right. And I'm willing to just start stepping out of that comfort zone and seeing what's next, because you took care of these.
The girls need attention too, guys. All right, and ladies, they need attention. Oh, I'm sorry, I just elbowed the fuck out of my dog. Sorry, Ella, I didn't realize you were joining the podcast.
Poor babe.
No,
that's fine. Okay. I cut my dog's nails earlier. Yeah, he wasn't.
She's
but
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everyone. I think I've learned, because I don't really have much of the girls, you know, and I have mine pierced. That doesn't mean that I've lost sensation. There's I could still feel things out of them, guys. Just chill out. But finding that, like, your own little like personal kink like that is always so interesting.
Right, right. It was. And I'm very particular about it too over time. Like, there's so many people who say that they're ready and they can worship him and they know exactly how and they're into that. And that's all they've wanted for years. And they come, and then I'm like, Jesus Christ, my nipples aren't supposed to be like falling off when you're done. Like, that's not how. That's not how life should be. And then 5 minutes apparently is a long time to them. And I'm like, oh no, absolutely not. Like, my partner here will spend a good hour intermittently. Oh yeah. And it's
Wow.
phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I met him like 9.5 years ago. So I keep him around because he's lovely.
Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
that's.
and he can
I didn't know that there was
stuff.
a time limit. I didn't know that there was like people like give up after like 5 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they think like, and I even try and like test it out. Like, what do you think is long? How long? You know, I'm like, I can go on for hours, and you know, they're all like, and then they don't. So, I've been spoiled by the one that I met several years ago, and yeah. We don't even need to have sex. Like, we play around, and I still come, especially from my tits being played with, and we don't need sex. Like, I always tell him, and he pretty much tells me the same thing. You could walk in the room and breathe and I'm turned on. Like, so, oh yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So yeah, he takes care of them very well. I'm not into like pain or anything with them. I don't want anybody slapping them, tying them up, putting nipple. I've tried nipple clips. They suck for me. I do not like them.
I tried to. It just doesn't work out. It's not for me, because they're like, I keep having people like get like me, like the ones with like the jingle bells on them. I'm like,
Oh my gosh, really?
Like, sounds cute, and I'm like, yeah, it's cute and everything, but like, this is just uncomfortable. I'm not having a good time. But like, if you think they're cute looking, that's fine. But it's only gonna last for like 30 seconds, so.
Right. Yeah, I had somebody like do the like connecting chain once, and I'm like, oh, that needs to come off.
Oh
like,
yeah, I have.
yeah.
I have a collar one that I wear that connects to my piercings. I've got like 2 or 3 sets of them, and it's fun to wear out, you know, because we go to swingers clubs and whatnot, and I'll have that out and everything. But yeah, I want to take them off like instantly, please.
So when you're wearing that, don't you worry that you're gonna like jerk backwards too much and rip them?
All the time.
That's another thing I think of when I see that stuff. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ.
You have to be so careful, because I'm already very much a clumsy person. Like, I get like attached to everything, yes. and so but like I've had an incident where I got a little bit of a tug and it kind of hurt, but then like usually when I wear them, I'm with my partner and he keeps a close eye on me because he knows I'm clumsy. So that's a nice thing, because it's like having like security for wearing like pierced nipples. Well, he's the one who bought them for me for my birthday, so I feel like he takes responsibility for that. So
I think he should. Absolutely.
Well, I'm so happy that you found someone that, you know, can satisfy such a kink like that, you know, and the fact that he can, you know, go so long with, you know, that kind of a pleasure, where, because, you know, guys, when you go down on them, they really expect that kind of amount of time too.
Correct. Except this guy.
Oh.
So he loves me doing stuff to him, makes him freaking crazy. But hold on one sec.
No problem.
Hold on. Madeline, I'm on the phone. I'll be out in a bit. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. Apparently I didn't hit mute after all. Um,
It's okay.
So no matter what part of me he's working on, he always like feels the urge to go to a different part of me, but then wants to go back and so on and so forth. And when he's doing all this stuff to me, it makes me hungry. It makes me thirsty for any of that. So then I go and like I'll go down on him, and he'll let me stay there for like 2 minutes, and he's like,
wow.
you gotta, yeah, you can't be there.
Oh, goodness. Because I know that
I
you
know.
actually enjoy going down on a guy.
I do. That's another thing that never would have when I was 36, I'd probably done that 2 or 3 times in my life.
Wow.
And
So
I was
36
married
was a big thing for you.
apparently.
That's beautiful. I mean, congrats on that.
And yeah, and I don't know how I got so good, but like from the get-go, everybody's like, Jesus Christ. I had this one guy go, he goes, I know that we're together a lot, and I don't speak much after I come. And he's like, and I just want you to know it has nothing to do with you. You render me retarded and I cannot speak. And I was like, oh, I like that statement.
That is what a compliment. Please put that on my Yelp review. Thank you.
Honest. Yeah. So I get stuff like that. I've had people who have dated or are dating somebody else or his wife or whatever, and they're like, can you teach her?
Yes, I've had that. I've had that before.
Yeah. You can watch. I don't know what I'm going to teach her, but she can watch. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, because I will say this out loud. If you're giving a guy a blowjob, please pay attention to the balls. They exist too.
Oh, and further.
Yeah, I mean it sometimes, but also I talked about this on my podcast because he used to. I have a guest. He used to shoot porn, and he's a great comedian, and I love him to death. Thank you, Michael Mann. And he was in a porn one time, and he was doing a threesome, and without any like warning or anything, one of the girls started licking his booty hole. Now, granted, it is okay to lick a booty hole, but you might want to check with them first.
Yes.
Because some guys aren't into it, or they don't know that they're into it yet. You might be the first. So.
Right. I think there's a joke. I think it's Tom Segura, and he's got this joke. God, what's the keywords for it? If you like Google Tom Segura and Machu Picchu, a video should come up of that particular section of his stand-up act, and he is so hysterical, and he's talking about how his wife has gone towards the booty hole, and he's in the act trying to convince men that this is what you got to do because you'll never turn back.
Mm-hmm.
It's super funny.
That's so good. I'll put that link down below. I'll find it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. We all need attention in certain places, you know? And you know what? Don't be ashamed if you like a booty hole lick, because I've been with plenty of people who were like, I'll never like that. And I was like, okay, challenge accepted. I know. Yeah. I told you I was going to say. Yes. There's plenty of times where I've had so many partners that they're like, oh, I'm not into this. I was like, you sure? Haven't done it with me yet.
Right. You don't know.
Yeah. What's been one that like got you like a challenge accepted kind of feeling?
A lot of them is and telling me that they can only get off a certain way, and whether it be having sex, that certain position, blowjobs, they're like, I can't, like this porn guy that I was going to work with, but I don't want to. But anyway, when I first met him, he made sure to tell me that he can only come through intercourse. And I was like, oh, no. no, I'm going to fix that challenge, accept it. And I did, and I just don't back down from any of the challenges. I know I'll fail one day, but I mean, right now, then no, I'm good. Like, I can bring it.
She's great. You got to hit her up on FetLife. Her link will be down below. Go ahead and try. Please accept this challenge. I dare you.
Yeah, really, I love it. I don't know why. Point of pride, I guess.
Is there like a big category that is like a no for you?
Hardcore BDSM. I don't like pain or marks or anything like that on me. Anything scat related. That's also a big no. And children. Children and animals. Those are like my top ones.
Yeah, I don't please. There's one person. If you're watching this, I swear, if you keep sending me a link of that donkey with the girl, stop doing it. It's just not okay. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff like that too, and I'm like, absolutely not. All that gets is blocked by me.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not into this. So that's terrible. But I know that one of your big things is, which I love, because I personally can't do it, but you like being stretched, which is, you're not into pain. But for me, I would think that would cause some pain, but it doesn't.
Not if you're with the right person. Not if you're with a person who like starts from kindergarten and works their way up through the grade.
How can you tell like if they're like good or not? Like, just like you have to experience it? Or
if they're giving me pain, then that can go away. Like if it's starting from the beginning and it's not a pain that I like, I'm like, okay, you guys stop. I mean, that's just the only way I can tell, is when it starts and if I'm going to let it keep going.
Have you ever had to tell someone to stop?
Trying to think. No. Apparently not.
Of course not. Of course not. You would never have to, because they look at you and be like, we know exactly when you're on. Good. That's crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah. And that fascinates me. Like that's a lot of the porn that I watch is like, well, obviously not that big, but like,
I mean, some people do, especially with the toys that come out these days. There's some that are just, it blows my mind,
True. We have a lifestyle Facebook group, and one of the girls is unapologetically like, okay, the bigger the better. If you find it, let me know. Because she's like, this is what I want, period. Like none of this little, like ever. And for me, I can go either way. I don't need it to be big. I don't need it to be small. I need it to be thick and well-trained.
Yeah, exactly. Because I will keep saying this to everyone. Size doesn't matter. It's how you fucking use it. All right.
Correct.
Because I've been with plenty of guys, and there've been big cocks and they're awful, and then I've had small cocks that just, not only is it that they have a small cock, but they also they know that they're lacking in size, so they are more attentive to other things too, which is beautiful. Which I think that should always be something in play. It's sex can be sex, but there's other parts that you could touch too. Recently, someone put out in the world that I am ticklish, and I have that as a hard limit on my profile. And if you tickle me during sex, I will punch you.
Okay, I should put that too. I didn't even think about that, but tickle is not. Yeah, my coworker, anytime I mess with her, she just goes, and I'm like, okay, I love you. I didn't mean it. You're the best person in the world.
I'm sorry.
Because she just one finger and I go flying out of my chair. Cannot.
I'll be sitting on the ugly couch with my partner, and I'll just for a second take off my sock, and he'll just target for it. And I'm like, no.
listen, if you're going to do that and you want to clean up the fact that I've peed, then go right ahead, and then I'll kill you afterwards. Although they might like that too, but
that's definitely people. Some people like kink with peak kink, and that's okay. If you're into water sports, that's totally cool because I happen to be kind of warming myself into it because my partner likes water sports. There's one of my top videos on FetLife right now is me peeing in my shower while he's peeing on me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
very cool.
It's definitely a weird kink, but we all have weird kinks. Like there's one that you and I have talked about is CNC.
Yes. So incredible. Yes, absolutely want that. And I want it on like a irregular basis because it doesn't work if you're doing it certain times and certain intervals. It's got to be a surprise. It's got to be off the cuff for it to seem authentic. So, yeah, I highly encourage that when I get, when I'm talking to somebody and thinking that we're going to be more than just chatting. I definitely mention that I'm into that and that if we get to that trust factor, you can really just go for it.
What would be like your ideal like CNC like time, like your role play and whatnot? I love asking this question. I know. I want them to hear it.
Okay. I was going to say, we talked about this yesterday.
I know. I love
it. I want the situation where you're sitting in the room, dinner party, football game, whatever. You have yourself and guests over and looking around knowing that some of them have fucked you and you had no idea who. That you're in that room and you're like, oh my, yeah. And it could be somebody, it could not be any, but you always wonder because you've been put through like that blindfold, that restraint, that stay still and let that happen. So I think that's a super sexy thought. And I have yet to have that come into play. So,
So everyone, someday. Let's make this happen. I'd like to see this video, please, and thank you.
Oh God, yeah.
I think it's so beautiful. It's so hot because, like the most CNC experiences that I've had, it's like I'll wake up with my boyfriend's dick in my mouth while I'm still sleeping because I have my eye mask on and everything. I'm like, okay, I guess this is happening. But I like the whole. Why not? But I love the whole like setting up a scenario, but not knowing when it's going to happen.
Correct. It is there. Listen, we tried to do a CNC one time with some guy. I don't even remember his name, but like he busts into the room. I'm at the hotel, and he busts into the room like, the robber or the whatever, and he starts like forcing me to do stuff and staying still and blah blah blah, and like 5 minutes in, he, in the middle of being like, yeah, bitch, you gotta blah, blah, blah. He goes, is this okay? Am I doing it right?
Oh, like, no.
And we're done. And it ended.
Ruined the moment. Like, because you have to be, when it comes to role playing, like you got to commit to it. Like, we've already talked all this out. I'm okay. There's a reason why we have a safe word. Like,
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I also tell people there's no mistake. If there's something that you're doing that I don't want, I am not submissive at all. I will tell you outright, get off, don't touch that, whatever. I have no problem voicing myself.
And that's good. And a lot of people need to start doing that because it's just getting really sad hearing all these horror stories about, especially in the porn industry, girls, claiming rape, years after they do a shoot and whatnot. It doesn't look good at all. And it's just getting really annoying. I'm like, you're going to wait 4 years now to talk about it? Like, why didn't you say anything then? Like, you put yourself in that situation.
Memory. maybe they found somebody that they like even better, and it puts that person to shame. So now they're gonna, or no, maybe the person who did that has found somebody fantastic and they're jealous. And so they're like, all right, I'm gonna hit them where it hurts.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different scenarios, whether it's, in the porn industry or in, in real life and stuff. It's just, if you don't consent to something, please, this is like a PSA, say something, because if you don't say something, it might happen to the next person and you could have saved someone's life. So
absolutely. Absolutely. I go to these events every once in a while because, again, I'm part of this Facebook group, and they've got a lot of like the BDSM stuff there. And before every party, there's one of the leaders who goes over all that. He's like, this is all consensual, even when it's not consensual. Safe word this, be honest with that, open. And he goes through all the safety rules every time we get together.
That sounds like an amazing host. That's an amazing host, and I'm so excited to hear that. That happens. It needs to happen more often. I know that we're all very horny. We all just want to fuck. I get it, but safety is still way more like the most concerned thing ever. So
I agree 100%. Like I swear I feel like Mama Bear sometimes, because I'll be sitting at like a club, and then I'll have like a half circle of women like sitting there like this listening to me as I sit there and go, you know what? You can fuck 1,000 people as long as the condom's on, you take tests, blah, blah, blah. I'm all about, because they're, okay, so one of my bangs, I had like 41 people. And
wow, that's a great number. I love it.
And I was like, and they're like, oh my God, how'd you do that? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, first off, not everybody's the same size. Second of all, not everybody lasts more than 2 or 3 minutes. And
that's okay, guys. If you can't last more than 2 minutes, I take that as a compliment. So if that happens, cool. Yeah,
like I do too.
Don't ever feel ashamed, because I've met plenty of guys who are like, I'm so sorry I came like so quickly. I'm like, no, like that's complimenting me. I got a good pussy. Thank you.
I'm glad that you said that, because I don't hear anybody say that. And my partner that I was talking to, that basically is gold for everything, he that's him. Not every time, but that's him. It'll like literally, I'll climb on top of him and lower down on him, and he goes, and I go, okay. He's like, no, don't talk, because I can feel that too.
Yeah, the vibrations of you talking and whatnot. And because I used to do kegel training, so I know how to work that muscle. And so when I get with a new play partner and I do them, they go, whoa. I'm like, what? Like, did you feel that? I'm like, yeah, I caused that. And they're like, okay, don't do that too much. Okay. I'm like, all right. I'm sorry.
Right. And I do. I take it as a compliment, and I tell him all the time, like, oh my God, like I am super turned on because of that. So yeah.
There's some people out there that get really upset about it, and I get it. You can go forever, but just because it happened the first time within 2 minutes doesn't mean you can't do it again. It doesn't have to be just one round.
Also, you mentioned go forever. Please don't go forever.
No, it's so bad for you. Oh my gosh.
It just, well, it's so, it's like watching trees go by as you're driving down the road. Nothing changes eventually. The trees are all just green trees, no variety on the side of the turnpike or whatever. But you're like this, and you're like, are you done?
Mm-hmm.
Can we be done now?
One day scientists will find the right amount of time, because for me right now it's between 5 and 43 minutes. That is,
dang.
Yeah.
That's quite a step.
Yeah. So I've been doing years of research on this. It's been a long time. One day I'll get certified with my PhD whenever I get it. But I think that's a good time.
Yeah. Invite me to graduation then.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. please don't raw your dog out. Like, don't do it. Don't. It's not worth it. If you can go for that long, great. But there's other things you could do too. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
know,
the
and
fact
that
you can get someone to worship your tits for an hour. That's incredible. There are so many other things you could do. That is.
I love it.
So if you're into titty worshiping, please check JulieJuggz out. She's amazing. She's on FetLife. All the links are going to be down below. And you're incredible, and we could talk for hours. It's ridiculous.
You are too sweet, and yes, I could talk to you for hours. So we'll have to do it again.
That is. I was just gonna ask if that would happen. I would absolutely love to have you back on. Like, you're phenomenal, and you're very inspiring. And one day I'm gonna be able to get my pussy stretched out. Please don't send DMs to me. I will find you. Don't find me. Is there anything that you want to plug in?
Fans, put up to $10,000 in bonus money instantly.
No.
That's okay.
No,
totally. I just like to ask.
Check out my profile to find my fan pages. And also, if you're going to do a fan page with me, please go to Fansly, not OnlyFans, because OnlyFans has become a dick.
They sure have. Their regulations and rules are changing all the time, and there's a reason why I still have enjoyed it. So stop asking me to join either. But I want to say thank you so much, Julie, for being on here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And thank you guys for tuning in or tuning back in to whatever the fuck this is still. I still don't know. I don't know how we've gotten this far and this long. But this is the Ugly Couch Podcast. I'm your host, Dark Ginger. This is JulieJuggz. And have a great evening, night, or fucking morning. I'm still not doing that outro.
No.
All right. Bye.